Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 33. This was a pretty darn good book, although something was missing. We're looking right at it. Let's talk about 5 things about this comic book after we talk about who made the book. So, we've got Point Blank, the name of this issue. Nick Spencer is the writer. Patrick Gleason, love you man, on art. Matthew Wilson doing the colors. VC's Joe Caramagna on letters. Patrick Gleason and Matthew Wilson does the regular cover. Miguel Mercado does the 2019 variant cover. And Rick Leonardi and Jason Keith does the Hidden Gem variant cover. Spider-Man was created by Stan Lee with Steve Ditko on art, baby. So, let's talk about number 1 on this list, and that is Silver Sable. Yeah, she is actually an LMD in this, in the beginning at least. We see the real Silver Sable later on. I like the idea that it's Teresa Parker who actually took her out because this adds to her credibility as a legitimate character. This was a really, really good beginning for a comic book, man. I dug this a lot because it does not make Silver Sable look weak. It does make, while at the same time, making Teresa look like more of a credible threat as we go on with these issues. This was really good, even though we didn't know anything else about Teresa afterwards, after this, that particular instance. Like, she just disappeared off the freaking board, but really good way to build somebody up, not at someone else's expense. I like that. So my number 2 on this list, and that is the retcon. Yeah, why was it a Silver Sable LMD, not the actual Silver Sable? Well, you remember back in it wasn't the end of Slott's run, but it was the end of a certain part where all of a sudden the what was it? The Superior Spider-Man wound up showing up. So this was years ago when Slott was ending the one series. I think it was issue 700, wasn't it, of Amazing Spider-Man, where Silver Sable was killed basically by the Rhino, and so was it issue 700? Whatever the hell it was. Anyway, maybe it was the issue before that. Rhino drowns her, right? So we go back and we see that she did escape the way that we thought she escaped, but she didn't escape unharmed. Because, see, later on in the comic books, they showed that there was a takeover. Silver Sabelanova, she goes back to her country, Sincaria, to try and take over from, what do you call it, her sister, her evil sister, who took over the country. So she goes back and there's a big fight, and it's bad. Shield winds up getting pissed off at Mockingbird and fires her from Shield. She quits and is like, no, you're fired first. And like, there's this big thing, you know what I'm saying, and major repercussions for Peter Parker's industries because he winds up losing the contract with Shield. That's his main money maker, right? Because he went and did this unauthorized war. He supported this. Woo, this was bad, right? This was a major thing. Well, it turns out that wasn't actually Silver Sable who was there. It was her LMD, which would explain why she didn't do so well against her sister in that fight. One is one thing, but the way that she won, like not just trouncing her dumbass. I'm just saying. Anyway, so nice little retcon there. I dug the way that happened. Speaking of her evil sister, let's talk about number 3 on this list, and that is the chameleon. That was a good joke. I dug that. I genuinely dug that because I'm looking at this as like, yo, this dude's back with her sister. What? No, they hate each other after that, right? And like, how is he, like, this doesn't fit because he's in an insane asylum and wait, what? But no, it made sense. I'm like, okay, that was a good play, Spencer. That was a good play. I loves me some Nick Spencer writing, dude. Just, yeah, I don't see myself coming off of something like that. That is freaking awesome. That was a good little trick. Number 4 on this list, the clairvoyant. We've got a first appearance of a new weapon device. Maybe it's going to wind up being sentient at some point. I feel like maybe it's guiding towards that point. Either way, interesting. We've got a new named thing here. We might need the previous issue as a speculator's interest because the character who made this clairvoyant is in that issue. Like, that's his first appearance. And in this issue, this particular thing is named. I don't know how to classify this thing. I really don't. But it's a first appearance. I get the gist that it's going to matter at some point. We'll see. Anyway, let's talk about number 5 on this list, and that is 2099 How? We had, like, what, a page or two of Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. There's all supposed to be a big lead up into 2099. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like this is on the front cover, and it's like right in our faces, man. And I don't. And that's a beautiful. By the way, that's Gleason, man, and Wilson. You guys are freaking awesome. Like I love those webs. But anyway, like I'm expecting to see some of the, and I don't see it. Like it's missing in action painfully, and we got all these variant covers out and whatnot, but nothing actually depicting Spider-Man 2099 in it for real. Like there's nothing going on right now. I loves me some Nick Spencer writing, but Nick, maybe it's not even Nick. Maybe it's just Marvel jumping the gun. Like, oh, we're gonna put the variants out now. Maybe Nick was like, don't do it yet. I'm not ready. Well, we don't have any other variants for right now, so we're gonna do that one. Good job, Marvel. Anyway, this was a good comic book. Just painfully missing the cover character. Anyway, I'm done. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.